Okay, good morning. So today we're going to finish the last topic in the online instruction delivery plan, and that is about media strategy. Okay, so typically when we talk about media, the first things that come to mind are what we call legacy or traditional media channels like television, like print, like radio. But aside from those, there are other clever or ingenious strategies that can be employed by an advertising practitioner. So let's have a look at our final topic for the semester. Okay, so one of the big categories of possibilities falls under online advertising. And when we talk about online advertising, we have text, we have still pictures or still images. We can also have animation or animated graphics. We could stream video over the internet, and we could also make our online advertising more interactive. The second item on the slide, it tells us that advertisers, of course, they create their ad, and then they're also the ones who have to find a website or a service or web service to host the ad. And this ad online can appear in a variety of forms. It can be a pop-up window, like when you visit the website, it either pops up and in a smaller window over the browser window, or it could be a pop under, meaning you think there's no ad, but once you close your browser window, it turns out there was actually a pop up ad, but it's not pop up, it's pop under. It's not visible, it's under the browser window. So sometimes we think there's no ads, but in reality, there actually is. It's just hidden under the current web page that we are viewing. Another usual form for the online ad is that of a banner. So it's like this long streamer at the top of the web page, or it could be basically a graphic, um, a horizontal rectangular graphic, a banner ad. The ad could also run down the side of a web page, although I've not seen some such ads in quite a long time. And the other item we're going to talk about from this slide is the frequency. How often do we see online advertisements? So it depends. There are certain kinds of frequency or how frequent the ads could appear. It could be according to the time of day. For example, it's scheduled during, I don't know, after lunch or in the afternoon, or it could be um, designed so that it appears only from a certain hour to a certain hour, so the time of day. Another possibility is that the online ad will appear a certain number of times during a particular day. So it all depends on the design of the ad and the agreement between um, the web host or web service, as well as the advertising agency working on behalf of the client. Okay, and the last possibility with regards to frequency is the context. So when you speak of context, in what particular instance would the ad appear online? Okay, so there are different contexts for that. And we proceed to the next slide. Okay, so one of the keywords to remember when talking about advertising online is stickiness. Is the ad sticky, or is the entire website sticky? And what do you mean by sticky? Stickiness here refers to keeping the consumers at that particular website. Okay, so how do we do that? Right, so we have to make sure that there's something there that they would love to immerse themselves in. You know, they'll spend a lot more time on that particular website. As an example, in America, they have what we call the Sci-Fi Channel, which broadcasts mostly science fiction programming. And one of the really popular programs on Sci-Fi Channel, at least at the time that our book was written, is the program Battlestar Galactica. And so, what did the Sci-Fi Channel do to ensure website stickiness? So that the more they advertise Battlestar Galactica, the more people will want to stay at the website and they would like to browse more of the content. So they did that by posting concept art about the program. One of the producers or executive producers also posted scripts and also posted outtakes. So, what are outtakes? You probably learned this already in your production subjects, but outtakes, it's like, it could be the blooper reel. That's one. So these are the scenes that were filmed or the footage that was filmed, but were not used in the final cut or the final version of the program. In this case, the TV show Battlestar Galactica. So outtakes are not necessarily always blooper reels. They don't always have to be funny, but they are not used in the final version of the edit. So that's why they're called outtakes. They're taken out. All right. So if there are no questions, we go to the next slide. By the way, for those who just showed up, we're talking about media strategy. We're talking about there's more than just the traditional media when it comes to choosing what channel can be maximized for an advertising campaign. So previously we already talked about online advertising. Another option, as all of you are aware, is mobile advertising. So when we speak of mobile advertising, of course, we have to first clarify the context, and that is mobile advertising takes place in the context of mobile commerce. So what is commerce in the mobile sense? Mark, could you read please mobile commerce?
Mobile commerce refers to the growing trend of reaching consumers through their cell phones.
Okay, and this is a big market because almost everyone on the planet has a cell phone. In fact, I might be mistaken, but I remember reading one time that there are more smartphones than there are toilets in the world. So I don't know what that says about humanity. We prioritize having a smartphone than having um, a good bathroom, so to speak. Okay, so under mobile commerce, we have mobile couponing. So a coupon. And we're all familiar with coupons. We talked about that in the previous class, but those were paper coupons. So McDonald's has them, Jollibee has them, but McDonald's went a step further. They already have an app, and in that app, not only can you see the food, their menu, they also provide mobile coupons. So how does mobile couponing work? Let's try Desi. Desi, could you read the second item, please, about mobile couponing? Desi? Okay, maybe Desi is busy. So we'll go to mobile couponing. It enables cell phone users to sign up to receive.
Mobile couponing
Okay, go.
enables cell phone users to
Sign up. Mhm. Hello? Yeah, Desi, go ahead. Please read.
sign mobile couponing. Yes. Mobile couponing enables cell phone users to sign up to receive coupons via cell phone to cash in coupons. Consumers show their cell phone screens displaying the coupon to a Mr. Kashira.
Okay, thank you so much, Desilu. So in mobile couponing, you bring your phone with you, you show the mobile coupon that you want to use to the cashier, and once they see that you have claimed the coupon, then you'll get a discount on your purchase. Okay. In other apps, there's sometimes a QR code, and it's the QR code that they scan so that you can have a discount on your purchase. All right, let's proceed to the next slide. Now, this might be very familiar to you because I think we've talked about this in another subject. So, another option, if you want to be creative in how you advertise, is product placement. So, product placement, it's a media technique in which a show's storyline or plot or story incorporates a branded product, typically in TV shows and movies. So it's not by accident or by chance that sometimes you'll see a product somewhere in the background of a scene in a movie or a TV show. In the picture, in the slide, this is of course an exaggeration. If you've seen this film, there aren't really that many products in the background, but this gives you an idea about product placement. Another possible avenue or another possible option is branded entertainment. Okay, so how does branded entertainment work? Mark, could you read please branded entertainment?
Branded entertainment is a new media technique in which advertisers showcase their products via longer form narrative films instead of brief commercials.
Okay, so branded entertainment, it's kind of like a commercial but super extended. And the best local example that I can think about with regards to branded entertainment is Jollibee because they literally produce a series of long form narratives. In essence, they're actually short films, especially sometimes they have a trilogy of commercials that are interconnected with each other. So that's a form of branded entertainment. But in our context, in the Philippine setting, these branded entertainment or longer form narrative films, which function as advertisements, they are more commonly found online. So, for example, the Jollibee commercial, you might see it in its unedited, unabridged form on YouTube. But if it makes it to television, usually they have to, um, whittle it down to the more basic scenes from the film. Okay, so just enough so that the story is still clear. And what's interesting about branded entertainment is that the people who appear in these kinds of commercials usually they become famous in their own right because, well, literally they are short films, except that they are short films that promote a brand or a product or a restaurant, in this case, Jollibee. And then, if that's clear, we can go to the next slide. Okay, so I'm not a gamer. I don't play video games or online games, but one other creative way to advertise is what we call advergaming. Okay, so how does advergaming work? First, it brings real world brands into the game. So imagine you're playing a game and at some point in the graphics, you'll see that the characters are walking past a billboard in the game. And in that billboard or on the posters which are in the game, you'll see certain products or certain services. So that is again not random, that is not accidental. There is a communication between the brands and the game makers so that their branding, their products will appear at some point during gameplay. Okay, so many advergaming executions resemble outdoor advertising, except that it's in the game, in the virtual world of the game. And this could be effective or not effective, depending on your perspective with regards to advergaming.